This is Black Titanic. Hit that like button, share, and please subscribe. And thank you for your support.
We're nothing. Say it like right here.
I gave your ass grace once.
You ain't give me. It's left unsaid.
You never listen to me.
I don't feel like you listen to me.
I don't know if I can do much more.
Well, it looks like those two are headed for the big G word. I don't know. Y'all know he have always been against counseling. I remember way back in the beginning when I do know that Tisha wanted counseling. Y'all remember that? And he really didn't want no counseling. So, girl, put your big girl's panties on. I've been there and done that as a young girl. You'll be okay. You'll be just fine. That was Scott's in-law sister, whatever y'all want to call it. They end up saying they deal breaker is cheating. Then Ken chimed in. Ken was talking about, how he looked up to them. Of course, they were older. They've been in a relationship longer, and perhaps maybe they could give them some great advice on their relationship. But then Ken said, well, that's not the case. You guys not giving us positive. We expect for you guys to give us positive input on our relationship. All right, now the war getting ready to start. The war getting ready to start, and Tisha says, well, Ken, I apologize. Now, at this point, we do know that we do know that Marsau and Tisha have already had this conversation about how she don't want nobody that mess with my marriage. You messing with my marriage, you destroying my marriage. All right. We done heard that since season 1, and Marsau had to remind his wife that, you need to give people the same courtesy. You interfering in their relationship, bringing drama into their relationship. I wasn't trying, okay, so she go and talk to the kid. I wasn't trying to destroy your relationship. She said she went to, I had to really, really, really assess this in 2 different ways. So let me get on Tisha first. At first, I am a mother, right? I have daughters in their 50s. My daughters are old enough to be Wanda's mother. I have 3 daughters. So, of course, you're going to say, a lady like this, daughters in her 50s, 2 of them in her 50s, 1 of them in their 30s, right? Yeah, that's another story, the little 30-year-old. But anyway, so I do know as a mother, watching the tears roll down Tisha's face impacted me. It really impacted me as a mom, and I know I've had problems with Wanda. Me and Wanda be on. Wanda don't like for nobody to talk about her daughter. I've always said that. I never blame Wanda. Wanda be calling me all kinds of names when I would do my commentary on Tisha, but I didn't take it personally because that's her mother, I expect for Wanda to come after me. But anyway, you guys, I was thinking as a mother, I had to go down to the root of my soul to really put myself in Tisha's shoes. Now here we are. We're on this vacation down the street in Gunnersville. Or maybe that's why it didn't mean that vacation didn't mean nothing to her husband. But a little out and a little resort.
Total Care Calvin Burton.
They were on, but it meant something to Tisha. It was a way that they could have bond. And, but anyway, let me get to the story, y'all. They sitting at the table. I'm going to start at the table, and I'm going to start at what you. We do know that Martell and, not Martell, y'all. We do know that Marsau and Tisha have already had this conversation about how she don't want nobody that mess with my marriage. You messing with my marriage, you destroying my marriage. All right. We done heard that since season 1, and Marsau had to remind his wife that, you need to give people the same courtesy. You interfering in their relationship, bringing drama into their relationship. I wasn't trying, okay, so she go and talk to the kid. I wasn't trying to destroy your relationship. She said she went to, Trish and told Trish that, Trish, this, y'all got to get over. She said she told Trish. She said, Trish, she said, other women, I said that Ken is all in their deal. Yeah. And y'all know, the camera flashed back to, Kim being all in it, to Tisha and Trish, right? When she said it. Oh, she was shaking her head. It was as if Tisha was in her element. Her element, that's what she was in her element, cause honey, she was digging it in the ground. She was shaking her head, talking about how people, you need to tell Ken, don't listen to books in his DM, because they came to they did us the same way, something like that. His DM, because they came to they did us the same way, something like that. But anyway, now she talking about that. Now, that didn't fly right with Ken. That must have bothered Ken, y'all. Because Ken said, you didn't have no facts. I would not come to nobody, not nobody, if I don't have the facts. Because I've heard things about Martell. Well, of course, you heard stuff about Martell. What you heard, she said. Y'all know that camera that camera kept on Marsau, and I knew it. I said, oh, Tisha, read the room. Look at your husband. Don't you see your husband get mad every minute? But she was so in tune. She was so in tune to apologizing and trying to take some accountability with what she had did. And I think at that time she was trying to impress her husband, because her husband had told her, had that talk with her about Ken, what she did with Ken and Trish, right? So anyway, the people go on, he get mad. Instead of him to look at her like, at least she was listening to me when I told her about herself, he didn't take it that way, y'all. Instead of that man to take it that his wife was apologizing again and trying to, take accountability for what she said, y'all probably disagree with me, because a lot of y'all know Tisha keep a lot of mess going. But anyway, this is my opinion. And then let me get back to Ken. Ken kept saying, I wouldn't go to nobody without facts. And then he said, I heard stuff about Marsau. And then what you heard? What you heard? What you heard, Patty? What you heard? What you heard? What you heard? What you heard? She kept saying, what you heard about Marsau? Marsau got pissed. Marsau busted out in anger and said, you over there begging him. You begging every man at this table to tell you something y'all about me cheating. Oh, that stopped Tisha.
So like one of the ladies came back to me and she was like, "You need to go tell Trish that can't be in these girls' DM." Okay.
Speaking my truth. And so I really did go to Tisha, Trisha, right? Trisha nodded her head, yes, she did. So then Ken said, "Well, you know what? I wouldn't even bring this up because if I don't have the facts, I'm not going to say anything that could damage another person's relationship, right?" That's what Ken was trying to get her to see. And that just fly right with Ken. That must have bothered Ken, y'all. Because Ken said you didn't have no facts. I would not come to nobody, not nobody, if I don't have the facts. Because I've heard things about Martel. Well, of course, you know you heard stuff about what you heard, she said. Do y'all know that camera? That camera kept on Marsau, and I knew it. I said, "Oh, Tisha, read the room. Look at your husband. Don't you see your husband get mad every minute?" But she was so in tune. She was so in tune to apologizing and trying to take some accountability with what she had did. And I think at that time she was trying to impress her husband because her husband had told her, had that talk with her about Ken, what she did with Ken and Trish, right? So anyway, the people go on, he get mad. Instead of him to look at her like at least she was listening to me when I told her about herself, he didn't take it that way, y'all. Instead of that man to take it that his wife was apologizing again and trying to, take accountability for. So here's the part that threw me. The scene walks, they're going down the steps, and I'm thinking that Marsau is taking Tisha off for a romantic getaway, holding hands, smacking a little bit, telling his wife how much he adore her. Because after all, it's a little getaway for all of them. Tisha sits down at that table, sits down in a little chair. She had a braids in her hair. Now, she looks good in braid. I think she looks good in braid. But anyway, she's sitting down there and look like she gets a cup of wine or something in that bottle. And I'm just, maybe she said, "Say what's up." I don't know. But that's what I'm going to start with. All right. So my soul is saying, "Baby, I just want to make sure we on the right path." Yeah, I just want to make sure we're on the right path. And then Tisha said, "As far as what?" He said, "Scholt and Black is concerned." He was talking so much. That man was talking so.
A sister girl with destiny.
If I just want to do what?
Be like, "Well, you talk about my mom, you talk about my husband."
Well, we're not doing that. One person say something and go low, and now, y'all both was doing it. Like, no, I didn't go low. She went low. She brought my husband in this situation.
Destiny can say what she wants to say about me. You don't have to defend me to a woman that doesn't have a husband that runs through men like crazy. You don't have to defend me to that. I won't defend me against that.
It doesn't seem like you understand where I'm coming from. And I don't get that.
No, T, I understand where you're going.
Make sure you're subscribing and tapping that button. But this is coming from Love and Marriage Huntsville Facebook page too. Jada. Love Mel or hater. She tried to help you, Tisha. Yeah, she tried to help you, Tisha, when it came to Marsau. Mel was the only woman on the show that could shut him down, could shut Big Mouth Marsau down. So Marsau don't need a yes wife, says Jada. He needs his equal. This is the other side of it. Everybody's not being compassionate, towards Tisha. But there was a poll that went out that if love and marriage transfer had to get rid of anybody, they need to get rid of Tisha. And they need to allow I'm not saying this, y'all. This is what, and I'm not I have no dog in this fight. I don't agree, I don't disagree. But they're saying that Marsau, they will keep Marsau and let Tisha go. Here's the question. Would Tisha allow her husband to shine? Would she step off the show and allow her husband to shine on the story by himself? Or else he may be able to get he may be able to get other roles on the other different shows also. But this is what I'm reading in the chat, y'all. This is not my idea. Now, why D. Williams said, I think the reason was so sure that Marsau cheated. Now, I'm reading that she wrote it, Miss Williams wrote it, that Marsau cheated because he cheated with her. I think she's trying to say that Marsau and Tisha was cheaters. Anyway, just my opinion. Y'all get it? I think they were cheating before they got married. They had somebody, each one of them had somebody else. Anyway. And she definitely had a reason to never let that secret see the light. Okay. Linda Williams said, William, what the F? My soul went to the wrong. He went to wrong without Tisha. He took his side piece. That's Tisha's problem. All things are allegedly just my opinion and just the opinion of the fans that do the show. But you guys, whew, this is the Titanian spotlight. Fans are speaking out. Now there's that mother side of me like, oh my God, Wanda, you must really feel for your daughter. I'm thinking about the motherly, the nourishing side of it. And then there's people out there like, oh no, just how Tisha started is how she gonna finish. But whatever the case is, you guys, they are a married couple and they may be able to work things out, and they may not. But whatever the case is, Tisha, you gonna be all right.
I think the hope was that a developer was gonna buy it and then still let maybe Chris Fletcher be a part of the home selling process of it all, and maybe Martell still be a part of the kind of trying to build, piece of it. But talking about building townhomes. It was going to be townhomes and leading into bigger homes the further back you go, just like most communities are. I mean, 47 acres is a lot of land. I mean, I can't believe it's still just raw land sitting here. Yeah. It's still just raw land sitting here. That is insane. Like, I could bring my kids out here and have a picnic. Raw land. Right. Snakes, raw land. No. Well, you have to look up. Huh? You have to look up. Look, I got a lot of eggs.
Well, y'all saw Melody. Y'all know Melody was the backbone of the show. We just saw her talk about the 47 acres, but right now, it looks like she posted something allegedly, and in my opinion, the way the post read, her life may be in danger. Let's listen. Let me read this to you. This is coming from Millichan. The last few days, I literally have been in fighting for my life. I never ever would have thought lies would stand. But still, really? I mean, really, like, to make up something, wow. Yeah, she says. I literally walked away from that show, y'all. Was tired of the allowed abuse, the protection and covering. the constant yelling, the constant screaming, and the constant blatant lies and cursing women's out. Sister was fed up with that show, y'all. On national TV too, etc., etc., and still no peace. No peace, she said, no peace. Well, what do Melody mean about that? They still want to see me down and out. That's bad, y'all. They still want me to be looked at as if I am on your level. On your level. That bad. Military wrote under the bottom, shaking my head. No peace, she said. No peace the last few days. I literally been fighting for my life. She said she never would have thought it would come to this. Now, this the part to get me that really makes me feel like she is, something is going on there. She's in danger. Because look, listen at this. Telling my kids I may have to leave. Telling my kids I may have to leave. That's hurtful. That's painful. But find me when you're of age. I'll be here. One of the hardest conversations of my life. It's like as if she on the run for her life, y'all. Telling my kids I may have to leave. But find me when you're of age. Find me. I'm on the run. I'll be here. One of the hardest conversations of my life. They don't understand, but they do. Because they witness it all and know it's untrue. Seeing the pain, just seeing the pain and the hurt in their eyes, seeing the pain and the hurt in my children's eyes, I don't know what they're going to do. But I do know that they know they will be able to find me eventually. Is Mel in danger? How can we help you guys? Please spread this video. Something is going on. How can we help? Is Mel in danger?
It's nice, yeah. No, it is nice. Because I remember that being a discussion, the cost of clearing this much land, like that in itself. That in and itself. Then we were like, oh, we need to see, like, so it's like, okay, how long to clear the land, like, and that's why we ended up going to Stagram, and we bought that property, and we built 2 houses there. Should we go to Stagram? It's right up the street, 5 minutes away. Let's go. That is what you call the generational wealth thing. It's passed down and passed down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The value of land. So my grandfather owned probably 100, 200 acres of land. My dad owns probably about 400 or 500 acres of land. But one thing that I know that he always harped on was buy the land, buy the land, buy the land. So it's something that he always, harped on from what my family has shared with me. Like my brother has told me, property, baby. Ooh, the city been trying to get it for years.